I'm audible. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have time post lunch. People are drowsy. I'll try to keep you awake. In next 20 minutes or so, I'll touch upon the harnessing of drones for future wars. And when I say future, do you think that future is actually going to come? No, it is actually already here. It is here. When we are talking about drone technology, most of the new end technologies are already coming into picture. Just to before I start and before many people join me, I'll just run through a small video to give you a glimpse that what I'm talking about. Oh, there is no audio. There is a very fantastic audio also. This is a cargo drone of Turkey's STM technologies. What you just saw is a kamikaze attack, and similar attack I can mimic here also. The drone that you see is AI enabled drone. It can recognize me, face detection. It can come near me and explosive can be mounted on it. It can take care of my health. So it can, I mean, it is so friendly that my son is actually flying from behind. You can come and land on my hand. And this technology with this AI feature enabled can further be taken care of as a swarm. Oh, I'll use this. This is better. So this technology can, with the AI enabled software on it, can take care of any kind of adversary. You can take it back, Daksh. So it is as simple as that. Now I'll move on with my presentation, and I think that I've made it adequate, interesting for everyone. Now, future wars. Future wars means you are not using your typical conventional methods. You are using things which are disruptive in nature, which can typically take care of your conventional methods by unconventional means, by disruptive means. And in the disruptive means, the drones are one of the most potent weapons. When I say drones, I'm not just talking about typical silo drone that you just fly a drone, which you just saw, but I'm talking about system of systems. Drone as a force, drone with anti-drone systems, AI-enabled drones, and what I'm talking actually, we are getting a glimpse of the same in the ongoing conflicts worldwide, be it Azerbaijan, Armenia conflict, or the Ukraine-Russia war, or subsequent other, I mean, Israel-Hamas also. Similar things are happening at all the places. And the simple factor, that is the technical factor, who has got a technical edge, will be the winner in these wars. That is very clear. And I'll just touch upon, before I further go, the evolution of these drones. People talked about when the drones started. To my understanding, when I researched a little, the first drone actually came somewhere around 1914. 1914, a drone was there on Earth almost 100 years, 110 years back. So this drone was called aerial torpedo, and the famous World War I killing which happened in London, this was the culprit. This drone, which actually is very simple, it has got radio communication, radio control, to just take it off. On a track and wheel mechanism, it will take off. There will be only that much fuel that it will go to a particular spot and drop, and the explosive loaded on it will explode and take care of the things. So that is where the drone technology, actually in a way, it was the first of the kamikaze that started. And then, of course, there were some developments in the World War II. Sorry. In World War II also, actually the kamikaze word came into existing in World War II. And this system that you see, a similar system, though it was not remotely controlled, the Japanese pilot used to sit on it, fly it to a place, and they used to get killed while taking care of the US ships. And that is how the kamikaze word came into existence. And thereafter, a lot of technological development happened. And now we have Predator series and such very beautiful systems. But then again, in 2010, there was a huge change in the complete game of unmanned systems when multi-rotor systems came into existence. Multi-rotor changed the game of drones. the low-cost solutions which can be scaled, and they are very potent in utilization. They came into picture, and I've just mentioned about, and then of course we are talking about higher end technologies, the artificial intelligence, machine learning based solutions, the swarming, and the typical formation flying of the drones. These things are very common nowadays. I'll touch about these things in my subsequent slides. Now, what are the role of drones in the modern warfare? In the modern warfare, we are talking about drones as a force multiplier because it has increased reach, it is very simple design, it is less risky to the humans, and it has heavily enhanced their capabilities. Low cost, the most important factor. And it is being used in multiple roles. I mean, I'm just going to be repeating, but however, these roles are very common. And we are seeing the usage of drones in multiple conflicts, which are there on the right-hand side, the variety of drones that are being used. One-way aircraft, the FPVs, these are the most liked ones. FPVs being the super low cost, I mean, they are cost effective and they are being utilized. Just imagine, you have a very expensive aircraft system and the complete airfield is just scared of a FPV drone flying in that area, and the complete fleet of aircrafts cannot even fly. So that is the game of drones. Now, present capabilities I talk about, I will differentiate between two types of drones. One is the male health category I will not touch upon because they are already being talked a lot about. The first four drones are already there with us, MQ-9B and Aura category, which is being developed by DRDO. They are in process of either procurement or development, but this category of male health is on. While other categories like nano to large category as per DGCA, terrain and role specific, the tethered fixed wing swarms, these are being deployed at various defense places in silos. So in my previous talk, I mean the daytime discussion, panel discussion, I talked about why these silo systems should be integrated and they should be part of the strategy. I think this mic is also not very effective. Yeah, so I'll just touch upon the drone classification also, just 2 seconds on this. Drone classification wise, we can classify them into 6 categories. And any drone which is there with whatever you see, they fall in one of these 6 categories. So we can make a matrix and the drone will have to fall in some 6 figures have to come into picture, then only it can be classified properly. There are some DGCA guidelines to this, and that can be explored on the DGCA portal. Now, when it comes to defense drones, there are multiple dynamic requirements. We must understand, and this slide I prepared basically to for the startup industry to understand that what kind of drones they should design, and on what what are the cues for that. Second, what all interaction, what all synergy we should have with other industry and academia as well. So when I talk about a requirement, there is a requirement which is there in the field army, and then you have to develop a scope of work for that. This is all part of the army, or I'm talking about the armed forces for any futuristic drone development. And this gets developed into a technical specifications, then the product is formed, you give a lot of R&D effort into that, then feedback is given, and then the product comes into a deployment. So it's the complete cycle. And this cycle, if effectively being done, actually this is replicating the triple helix model. I will cover that triple helix model also in my last slide because that is something very important, and that is something which is actually happening everywhere. Now, use cases which are presently there with the armed forces are primarily into surveillance, the CICT ops, counter-insurgency and counter-terrorist operations, the gathering of real-time reconnaissance information, to some extent situational awareness and surveillance also, and of course for some logistics usage, but the type of drones for logistics are very minimal, and in high altitude area there are huge challenges. So as I talked about how to actually come for a particular design of the drone. So you can actually make a Venn diagram and understand that there is a requirement, you have a technology available, you have the budget available, and what should be the features. If you actually effectively make a subset of it, you can create that drone very effectively, and that is how it should be planned. And as I said, once the drone is being planned, you should have optimization of various features also, that what actually the field army wants. These are the futuristic solutions I am talking about. The armed forces are not looking at some particular product. They are looking for a solution which should be designed as per their requirement. So some of the use cases are already there. Some of the use cases are being talked about, which are there on the right. And there is no end to such requirements. I mean, there can be direction of own artillery fire requirement, or there can be NBC monitoring. There is no end to such requirements in the armed forces where the drones can be utilized. Now I'll just touch upon what India stands and how much push from the government is there. We have seen a lot of initiatives taken by government, PLI scheme, the various schemes from the government, whether it's Drone Didi or similar other things. The crux is that the drone industry is going very big. Big in the sense you can see the CHIR figures. The military component is the biggest. There is a direct push from the government. The Prime Minister and the civilian ministers, they are always on the go for various types of such activities. We are seeing such activities for quite past some time. And these drones will not only scale in the domain only for the purpose of the defense forces, however, they will bring right business to the industry as well. So both the teams are actually getting benefited here. Some figures are there, I mean, you can refer. Now my concern is that as the drones are being developed and India is gearing up for theaterization, very soon we will be hearing that. So now in theaterization, how these things will work. So in my subsequent slides, I will talk on that future wars is aligned to the future requirements of the forces. When the armies or the air force or the navy are going to be clubbed together and there will be theaters commands, these drones needs to be aligned to that. You cannot have something just working on silos. Now here I comes to the future trends. We will talk a little more on this thing. So in the picture on top, you can see there is a system of systems which I am talking. There are some swarm of drones. There are some drones which are some tethered drones, and they want to engage an adversary in a real-time operational environment. So I mean, till now in the conventional method, we used to get a lot of integration done through our chain of command. But with the technology at our peril, with the drone technology at our, which is there in our our side, we should utilize this to get the right information. And to help us, there are various technological domains which are there to help us. First and foremost is the AI. And now AI, of course, there is a lot of precision, there is a lot of data, there is a lot of machine learning involved. So I have a separate slide for that. I'll be talking about swarms thereafter. The integration of 5G, this is something which is interesting. The wireless power transfer, this is again a very interesting protocol. The man and unmanned teaming, and the stealth technologies. These are the verticals in which the future wars, the future drones will align themselves, and then only they will be able to, I mean, having the technical edge, as I said, the person or the team which has got the better technical edge, they will win the war. Now I'm just talking about the swarms. So swarm is a very nice term. Swarm, I mean, most of the elite class here already knows about what a swarm is. Swarm basically refers to a bundle of or a group of birds who are flying. Now they fly together and they are always in sync. But what is the best part of birds? They never collide with each other, but still they remain very cohesive. So that defines the swarm. And there should be a redundancy. So basically drones the swarm has got three features. First is the flocking, the second is schooling, and third is the foraging. The schooling is the flocking is that all the birds, they take off together. It's not like that one by one they are going up. They take off together. They make a group, that's called schooling. They move to a place and then they forage, like the birds forage for food. Similarly, the swarm of drones forage for their targets. So say there are 10 drones foraging in an area looking for some particular target, and because of the enemy activity, out of 10 drones, 7 drones are killed or they are negotiated. The balance 3 will still be doing the job. So that is the mesh network, that is the shared intelligence they have, and that is how that they will perform the task assigned to it till the time the last drone is there. Now just to give you a little word on it, you see the three verticals. One is the centralized swarming, the second is decentralized, and third is this decentralized fully autonomous. Now we are at the stage where we have achieved decentralized non-autonomous. That is, the drones are able to talk to each other. However, there is a back-end control where the person who is the controller, the user, is still able to control the swarm. But in a complete autonomous, you can just give a button of go, all the drones will fly to a particular area on its own, taking decision on its own. That is yet to be achieved. And of course, there are multiple usage, but generally people feel that the drones which are we see in the drone demos, where there is a array of drones which are making some shapes and lights and all. So those drone shows are actually not termed as swarm. They are not intelligent enough. They are mostly they are pinpointed pixels in air where the particular light is switching on and off at particular time. So there is a difference between the swarm and the, I mean, I can call it rule-based drone show. And the photograph that you see, actually, these are one of my projects I did with the Army. When I was in the Army, the first swarm of drones. So here you can see the foraging of the birds that they scanned a particular area. There were a set of 10 drones and they did the foraging. And on the right, you see it was a demonstration done in the Army Day Parade in 2021 for the same product that I developed. And that there you can see the kamikaze attack done by the drones in actuals. The video is still available on internet. So this is the advantage of having a swarm of drone technology. Now coming on to the AI, of course, this is very interesting. We all understand, I mean, broadly we understand what AI is. You have some input layers, you have some hidden layers, we have some output layers, we have some weight, you have some summation, but all this is done at the back end while you are giving some inputs in the form of raw data and you are getting some output as per your requirement. That is broadly the AI is. But on drones, how does it work? So basically drones have to learn, they have to adapt, and they have to do their decision making on the go. That is the thing that we are talking about. And they can through the AI, when they have their data with them, the drone is having the data on either on board or at the back end, they can negotiate their particular obstacle, they can negotiate the terrain, they can see the environment and understand it and then flow, then make their path accordingly. So they can navigate the environment, do the obstacle avoidance, they can do identification of any particular patterns. So as I said, the drone that I flew, it could recognize me. Similarly, it can recognize a tank, it can recognize a vehicle, it can recognize any kind of target if the information is available to it in ab initio. And of course, we did a small project with SDD, wherein we did a change detection product, where you see, if you see on the right, you see two images. On the left images, there are actually, this is a stadium. We took a photograph from top and through a nadir view of the drone, and there are some cars parked in the area. So what happens is, drone is flying every time and capturing photograph underbelly. So every layer which is getting generated, we can compare it at a later time and we can tell that there is change which has happened. 5 minutes. Okay, so I have given that I am overshooting the time. So change detection can do this where you can find out what is the anomaly in that particular area. I'll go a little faster, but yeah, 5G network. The same RC and the GPS that we are using it for the drone control using the signals. So that can actually be converted on the 5G network, and the 5G network can thereafter take care of. So actually this requires a lot of hardware requirements. Hardware needs to be changed accordingly. And very few, I think Qualcomm is actually developing such kind of a hardware. Rest, I have not heard of any such system which is working on 5G network. It has got its own advantages because it is not having any lag. There is no, of course, there is no problem of disconnectivity. So this was, I was talking about from the very beginning that, yeah, standalone silo systems are there, but how they should be integrated. So we should understand that all these drones which are there in the environment, they should come to a single platform. All the feeds, all the controls should come to us, single person. So say on the first slide that you see, there is a drone which is flying and you get the feed on the tab or a laptop. But then see, you can integrate all these tethered and untethered systems together, and they are coming to to your control station, and then the complete feed is coming to the commander who has to take decision on ground. Then this can be controlled. I mean, of course, this is the architecture. For a commander, you need to have a front-end GUI where the map is there. In that map, you have all these drones marked where in the actual they are flying in some coordinate, but that coordinate is marked on the map. And you touch on the map, you get the video feed. What is happening there? So there are so many operational activities, there are so many border activities. You need the constant surveillance. And I mean, the person who is sitting, who is the decision maker, if he is able to see the thing on ground, then what best? I mean, this is something which can actually make all the changes. So these are the type of softwares that we are looking for. The drone game is on. However, now it's the time that we should integrate and develop this technology from tactical operational technology to a strategic level thing. So that is the thing that one should look for now. These are some future outlook. Of course, the newer technology will come and they will take over the previous one. Obviously, presently, computing levels are whatever we are using, but quantum computing will, of course, change it. And similarly, other aspects of technology. So I'll not touch much on this. This is the last slide, so I'll get 1 minute here. So this is something I have prepared for understanding of the startups. See, this is the thing about triple helix model that I was talking about. Triple helix primarily is the model which was in 1945. It was implemented in US, where the government, the academia, and the industry came together, and they created forums to address the challenges of the defense forces and the governance. Now, similar things are happening here in India as well. However, the term is different. We are calling it interfaces or synergy. However, the concept is the same. You see, there are advantages of each sector. Like armed forces have their own advantages, the academy has advantages, and the industry has their advantages. How these respective sectors can, the intersection can lead to a better future of these futuristic technologies. That is what I meant to discuss when I was showing this slide. And with this, I come to the end of my presentation. If there is anything I can, answer, I can. Please. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for that very insightful talk. Uh, if you look at the drone technology stack today, in terms of the airframe, it's largely sorted. Flight controllers largely sorted. Firmware is sorted, and we also have communication protocols like Mavlink, which enable companion computers to kind of talk to the flight controllers, right? So from a hardware and electronic stack, I think there is a fair bit of standardization and regularization that exists today. What I'm inferring from your talk today is that the opportunity here lies largely in the software space, where you're looking at swarming, you're looking at all of these use cases which essentially dictate what the drone needs to do, and we don't have to worry too much about the hardware and electronic stack because that is already existing. Is that the right interpretation, and what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, exactly. So as I told you, so generally what is happening is that when we understand the drone technology, we always start thinking for some particular problem solution, or maybe for some use case which is directed to a particular region or area or a terrain. However, what I am talking about, we should instead of just tactical or operational in nature, we should start thinking these level of drones also in a strategic manner. We should think that how in a war scenario I can play with this technology like this and this technology like this, the way we do it in conventional war. So similar way, these drone technologies should be integrated all together. In place of A, if I can send B, that kind of redundancy also we should think about. So obviously, my inference is more about developing system of systems than just merely working on silos. We have spent almost the industry has spent almost 5-7 years now in making drones. So now we have to graduate, and this is the right time. One is looking for it.
Can I, can I ask you a small
Sir, please,
question? Yeah.
please.
See, you touched upon regulations,
Yes.
regulatory things and all that. See, any drone it has got two faces of the coin, some good aspects and some bad aspects, right? So we'll have to take care of collateral damage when you're flying in a common airspace. So for that, the standards are different. There is Jorasora standard, where there is a HIRM, hazard risk mitigation, hazard identification, risk mitigation. So you may refer that. Then we have an agency which I was a part of, that CEMILAC, Center for Military Aviation Certification. We follow standards. For software, we have DO 178. Then for software, DO 78, and hardware. Now it is known as CH, complex electronic hardware.
Correct.
So, and it is treated as a software. So DO 254 we follow. So if required, you can.
I will get in touch with you. Thank you so much.
All the best. Good luck. Good talk.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I think there is no question. Thank you so much, gentlemen and ladies. Thank you so much.